Sean Burke is the general manager of Canada's national program heading to the 2018 Olympics in South Korea. What a great opportunity. I know that there's people that think, well, it's not the National Hockey League and they don't have the professionals going. But at the end of the day, this opportunity, how does it resonate with you? A guy that's been in the Olympics twice for Team Canada and now heading the selection process for our team coming up in South Korea.
Well, it's an incredible opportunity. I'm very honored by this chance to lead this group of guys. And, you know, the one thing we know going to the Olympics is the competitiveness of this tournament will be as high as it's ever been. And, you know, our players will have a chance to do something for most of these guys they've never done before. It might be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So we know we're preparing, and we've been preparing since last year for this possibility. And I think our fans and people across Canada will get behind this team. There's a lot of great stories with these players, and those will start to emerge as we move along.
Of the many things that resonated with me was your comment suggesting this is the first Olympic Games in many years where every country that goes in legitimately and reasonably thinks they have a chance to win. How will that help form what's coming ahead in South Korea?
Well, it plays a lot into your preparation. You know, in the past, obviously, Canada goes into these Olympic Games usually with, you know, the team that's the favorite. It's obviously the greatest sporting event in the world, so everybody competes hard, and there's no guarantees. But this time around, we've seen a lot of the teams already. We've seen Germany, we've seen the Swiss, we've seen Slovakia, teams at the World Championships that were basically most of their Olympic players, and they compete against the NHL teams. So we know how extremely important it is for us to be prepared, to make the right selections, but we also know going in there there's no easy games, and when you represent Canada, your expectations are always high and everybody else gets up to play against you, so we know those are all factors too.
Many fascinating gentlemen and ladies you're working with going ahead, but Martin Brodeur, his name stands out to all Canadians, a Canadian hero such as yourself, but so known for his NHL exploits. How does he fit in with your management team, and what will he be in terms of direct responsibilities with you?
Well, we were very lucky that, and we need to thank Doug Armstrong in St. Louis for allowing Marty to be a part of this. He's very busy with his own team. He fits in perfectly with our group. You know, his experience, he's a very, very intelligent hockey person. He's had, you know, international, NHL. He's respected everywhere he goes. But for our group, we want Marty to do what he does everywhere else, is just be honest, tell us what he sees, help us make these selections. There's no hierarchy here of how this is going to work as far as everybody's going to have input. We want everybody to see what they see, and we need to be as best as we can be right across the board, and Marty will add a lot to that.
Your coaching staff has a tremendous legacy with Hockey Canada and Canada's national programs. I remember Dave King when I worked with him in the 1980s. You know him very well. And of course, head coach is Willie Desjardins. Your thoughts on your entire coaching staff and how they embody what you're trying to achieve?
Well, we looked for a number of things. Obviously, experience was important. You know, we don't have 2 years like a national team, maybe in those days when I played for Dave, to prepare. We have 6-7 months and a lot of good games, but it was important for us to have experience, and we definitely have that. We have, right across our coaching staff, we have guys that Scotty Walker, who's coached at every level for Canada, played for the national team. Craig Woodcroft, as I mentioned, was a national team player. Dave, everybody knows the amount of competitions he's been involved in, and Willie's had incredible experience. But more importantly, we wanted a group that we felt would work really good together and cover off all our bases. And I really believe that it was an exhaustive process. We sat down over a lot of hours and thought about the guys that were available. And the one thing I can say is we're lucky that these guys were available.
I know you've been busy identifying players, and you probably don't want to get into names, but you've mentioned 45 players that have been identified over the last year and a half by Hockey Canada, many more that may be looked at. What type of player will your Team Canada look for as we head to the Olympic Games?
Well, yeah, you're right. We have spent a lot of time already, and a lot of that credit goes to Tom Rennie, Scott Sam, and Scott Smith, who had the vision to make sure last year we started to prepare for this possibility. So we were lucky that last year we went to a number of events. We saw a lot of our players that are over in Europe, and so we weren't starting this year from scratch. And you know, we're looking more right now at what we have. We don't know yet what we need. We need to find out what exactly we have. So these first two events are going to be great evaluation for us, but there's lots of other players out there we're going to have to evaluate too. So it's going to be a process that is going to take some time, but we want to build. We want to get to November's tournament, build to December, and head into the Olympic Games with what we think is going to be a gold medal winning team.
Sean, this will be a fascinating adventure for you, entire nation, and Team Canada. Congratulations on your appointment, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.